Welcome to another day in Empyrion Galactic Survival. At the moment I'm currently stood up on top of my base, and for any of you who have not seen my base before, because of course the last three parts we've been out shooting out points of interest, I've got a really large capital vessel landing pad at the top with a repair bay just there. I've actually extended it out this way because the bounding box of my capital vessel was interfering with this repair bay, so I've now created an extra space in order to park my capital vessel. And if I come out this way, I can't come too far because the drone won't let me. Yeah, it's already doing it. You can see I've put solar panels on the front here, and they are producing enough considering this is the start of a new day. I've still got 43% battery power, which is really good. And then I've got a small vessel bay here, which I'm not using very much at the moment, but I'm sure I'll find a use for it. And then at lower levels I've got accommodation, and right at the lowest level I've got my machine room. In this part I thought I'd have a bit of a change of pace, in the sense that if I come here and show you here, during the last three parts, despite repairing my small vessel, you can see my small vessel's taking damage, especially to these internal cargo boxes. I've also got some damage on my thrusters and my front weapons, which is understandable. So I thought what I'm going to do is repair the ship and give you guys a demonstration of how that is actually done. Plus I think there's a slight issue which I'll explain that as I go along. But the first thing I want to do is, if I can, whoops, no, I don't want to do that. So if I can find the weapons section, I'm just going to grab the texture tool, because what I want to do is actually be able to mark the location of this repair bay to assist in landing, is probably the polite way of saying it. And I think what we're going to do is just, I think we can just come out like that, put a nice big yellow strip this way. It's probably easier just to start that way and come like that. I think if we go 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 this way, and we'll go 4 this way, that will give me a nice crossover. And I think maybe if we just add a little bit of a wide panel here, maybe a little, just to give me a target area, because when I'm coming into land, trying to spot this repair bay can be a bit tricky. So I've now marked out an area here to aid my landing process, which can often be quite shaky. Just drop this back into here. We don't need this anymore. That can go into there. And we're just going to jump back into my ship here. And we're just going to need to power on the thrust. Come into third person, and we're just going to fly across here. Maybe we'll bounce a little bit further forward, and that's why I've put the box there, because you get a good option now to be able to see where your ship is actually landed. So that should put my ship clearly over the top of the repair station. And of course what we need to do is power off completely. I know I've got a fridge in here, but we won't have the power off that long because we've got to come across the repair. Oops, looks like the local drones are coming in, but obviously my defences have been shooting up the drones. Well, I think I can afford to pass up on those resources. And what you can see here, I need some iron, some sathium, some copper, and some silicon to repair the ship. So what we're going to do is just come here. I should be able to get this out of the advanced constructor. I think we'll just do it the quick way. Silicon, actually no, just split. So just make sure I don't drop it all in by accident. And so we got silicon, iron, copper, and that's some sathium there. Now what I'm going to want to do is repair to a template. So what we got here, It says we need 4 silicon. So we've got 4 silicon. I think I'm going to put an extra one in for... And you do get this delay sometime. Now the reason I'm putting an extra one in is that, see it says retrieving data, is the fact that sometimes it rounds up and it doesn't repair completely. And I think putting the extra one in can make a difference. This is where I'm actually going to prove myself wrong. See, it's retrieving repair data again. So we'll just drop an extra copper in. I mean, it's not like I've got a shortage of resources anyway, so it's retrieving data again. 2, 3, 4. So that should give me more than enough. And it says show repair area, it says total time to repair. And we're just going to start the repair. And what you will see is you will get the green box appear around the ship. And you can hear the ship repairing. Now while that's doing the repair, I want to talk about something else. This is based on a comment from Snafu. If you're going to go out and do a lot of looting, it might pay to take a deconstructor with you, and that's what I want to do. Is I want to make a deconstructor there. So we're just going to knock that out. That should work quite well. And in theory now, if I come in here and look at the ship, you can see here, see the ship hasn't been repaired, despite the fact that I'm repairing to a template. So what I actually want to do is come back here and see whether this actually thinks that this has been repaired. And this is what worries me slightly about this repair process. Let's try repair blocks. So it says here repair blocks, so it's almost like it thinks that the template is different. Now it's possible that I've made a mistake. Whoops, that's silicon. What am I doing? That's because I'm talking. It's possible that I made a mistake in the sense that I did not save the template when it was completely healed. So it says there, why is that not ready to repair? Okay, start repair. So what we're going to do is go back over here. Well, that's repaired. Let's see what it's repaired. And I'm just going to have a look at it now. And you can see now where I did the blocks, it's actually repaired the blocks. I'm not sure if there's a bug here in the sense that when you repair to template, it looks for blocks that are missing and repairs that, or there's a distinction between blocks. But just to try and make sure, just double check, make sure the whole ship has been fully repaired. Yep. Just open up the thrusters. Yeah, I mean it shouldn't conceal them. What I'm going to do just to make sure, because it could be my mistake, so I don't want any of you to think that it's actually done. If I come in here, if I save that repair template saved, that should do it. I actually need some oxygen in here as well. Actually, let's just do that while I'm at it. Yeah, I mean, if any of you guys have got experience with this repair bay, feel free to add a comment, because I must admit I have mixed feelings about it. I know I need to use it and it is going to be quite useful, but I do have this issue. So I'm just going to fill this up here like that. Anyway, I think that's enough there. Right, we can drop that back into there. And of course, I don't want to take all that resources with me, so I'm just going to go back to the advanced constructor. Put that in there. Got a little bit of a food situation, so maybe we can knock off some food. And of course, what we should be able to do now is just pick up this. And I need to remember to take it with me. Not that I'm going anywhere in this part. This part's going to be very much around the base, tidying up a few things, giving you guys a little bit of an overview of what's going on. I think you can definitely put that up in there, because that comes under essential supplies. And I think that would be very, very useful. And another project I do want to work on is creating an area to build ships with. It's like you can say, it's almost like a construction area. So, oops. So what I want to do is just come out and have a look, see if I can build it. I mean, I could build it up here, I could build it down alongside there. Oops. I mean, this base is getting very big, and I am slightly worried that, oops, that gives you an idea of how big this base actually is now. And we can actually walk underneath the capital vessel, which is really cool. And I mean, I'm a bit worried that if the base comes out much further, it will be vulnerable to attack. I mean, I could move the capital vessel back over now my small vessel is done, and then use this as a construction area, I suppose. It just means that I'd have to find somewhere else to park my capital vessel. I think that might be the option. So I think what I'm going to do now is, now my small vessel's repaired. I mean, I've got my older small vessels over there. I mean, I could build back this way, but I've got these towers here. I think I need to think about it actually, guys. So what we're going to do is just jump into here. And of course what I'm going to do is turn the power on now. All the thrusters are already on. And we're just going to go up. And what I'm going to do is just drop the small vessel down now to my lower parking bay, because this is where I actually want to keep my small vessel when it's not in use. I'm just going to go in here. I did try practicing a little bit parking in reverse, but it didn't actually go that well. I think that's probably far enough in. I don't need to go in a really long distance. I'll just turn the thrusters off, leave the power on, because we've actually got a fridge in there. I mean, I'm not sure. Again, this is a question for any of you guys who've done a lot with repair bays. I mean, is it possible for me to have another repair bay down here? I wonder if it will work. Maybe that's an experiment we need to conduct. Maybe for another time, because that could be a bit awkward. Actually, I'm getting the oxygen levels dropping, so I think I need to go down into my residential area and have a look at that. So what we're going to do is just go down here and through here, and I suppose I could harvest some food as well. Actually, I mean, through here I've got my furnace. In fact, I think what I might do is, have I got any more ores or anything here? I think what we can do, I mean, let's just hook all these ores out of here. Estrum ore. I'm not sure about the estrum ore. Sarcosium, because you've got here estrum gel. I don't want it turned the there. Got some satium ore, copper ore. I think that's about it. Let's just have a look in the other constructor. I mean, I've been meaning to do this for some time, so I might as well get it done now. So you can see I've got more resources here, and it's not like I'm short of power, so we can't put magnesium in there, but we can put everything else in there. We can turn the furnace on. Of course, it's going to get very hot here if we stand here. Oh no. It used to get hot. Anyway, let's just drop that back into the... Where's my advanced constructor? There it is. So yeah, I suppose it makes sense that magnesium isn't something that that can be converted in the furnace. And I think having the furnace is really good. That once you've got one up and running, that means you can convert the ingots. It speeds up the production process. And I think we'll just grab a little bit of oxygen on the way through. Just top that up. I don't think I've got no damage. I'm perfectly healed up. And again, for any of you who've not visited my base, again, for any of you who've not seen my base before, this is my farming area, Mark II. The reason it's Mark II is originally I built the farm out in the glazed area, which was aesthetically good, but from a defensive point of view wasn't such a good idea. I started to get the drones that were attacking my base. I was speaking of the devil, they've just arrived. Yeah, the drones that attacked my base managed to start cracking the glass. And of course, if you lose air pressure on a planet like this with no atmosphere, all your plants die incredibly quickly. So what I've actually done is relocated the plants to this area here, and we're just gonna pick up this stuff here. I mean the farming area doesn't look particularly very good. Oh, there it goes. What we might do is just go out and loot those if I can get this done in time. Probably don't need this, actually. I can probably go without that because I've got loads and loads of berries and stuff stashed away in my fridges. In fact, because I've not taken that much in the way of casualties, I don't really need that. So maybe we'll just grab a little bit of the pumpkins. Oops, I've grabbed some fruit by accident as well. Never mind. So we've got the vegetables. I mean, it gives you an idea how much I've picked up. That can all be fairly safe for the moment. Oops, no, better pick those. The mushrooms are quite useful as well. So I'm just going to grab that. And I'm going to have a wander around my base. If I get up to the deck, we can go and loot the drones that have come in. So I'm just going to come here. I mean, I did think about building a vertical lift up from the main room, but I'm quite happy with this because it means that this area does not have to be sealed from the atmosphere. So I'm just going to jump in here, power up the thrusters, and of course we can just back out because this, I mean, the thing I like about this bay is that I don't really have to worry too much about trying to turn round and going out. I can just back straight out, which is really, really great. I'm just going to drop down here, and drones that attack the base are a very good source of loot. You see here we got 130mm, and I mean that's going to be very, very useful. And is anyone else around? Anything else my defences have shot down? No, there was only the one. Come on, game. I was expecting more than that. Oh, that's not fair. Anyway, seeing I'm out here, I can give you guys a better view of what the base looks like if I come down here. I mean, this is a great location. Now, see the occlusion with the terrain. I think that's just something to do with the graphics. It's not. I think if I can get in close, it should disappear. No, okay. Obviously, I've got a bit of a graphics glitch going on now. It happens from time to time. I think if I come in here, and it means I can't actually get into my hangar now. Oh, great. Well, we can always use the top level and come round here. Yeah, that graphics glitch does happen there. I don't know if it's actually my graphics card or whether it's something in the game, but eventually it will go away. It's not permanent, so I don't need to panic about it. It's just something that seems to happen from time to time. So I think we're just going to... She looks as that drone's coming in over there. So we've got 3 more drones coming in. Anyway, I'm just going to drop here. Turn the thrusters off. First person. Yeah, it definitely looks like 3 drones coming in. Right, what we're going to do is just... that can certainly go in the advanced constructor. And that can go in base supplies. And of course we need to offload the food. So we're just going to come down here. There's my food processor. And what I like to do here is keep things like spices and that in here, so that I can work on these more advanced foods. And then the basics, which I probably don't need to put in here just at the moment. You can see how much I've got. I mean, I could kick off another couple of these, maybe. And then what I do is I shove the rest Yeah, but you can see all my fridges are filling up really, really quickly. So just top this up, and I think there's space in here. Yep. The other thing I'm also been doing is coming in here. You can see it's just dropping this in, and then how much is this? This is 20. So just knock out that, and that gives me a really good supply of plastic. And I think what we can do is just drop some oxygen into this ship here. Supplies, just so that I've got plenty of oxygen should I want to go out and about. I've also got some purified water, and I think actually I did take the lamp off the front. I think maybe it's time to put it back in again and prepare the ship for a new journey. Oh, looks like those drones have gone anyway. Another thing I want to show is based on the tip that Snafu gave me. If you come in here, I've now created a specific cargo box with stuff in it that I want to deconstruct. So what we can do is put that in there. So rather than just keep having to sort through everything saying, do I want to keep this, do I want to not keep this, I've now got a separate box, and if we can find the deconstructor, and we can just shove all this in here, and that will retrieve a lot of this thing. I mean, I've got duplicates of this. I'm not like I'm saying I don't need these at all. It's just I've got so many different versions now. This is a nice thing about the deconstructor now. All that kit that you would in the past you would have left behind, you will now have a use for it, and that is really, really great. Did my guns actually destroy that base? Those, I'm a bit confused. Oh, these guys still coming in. What are they out there? I've got to go and have a look. Sorry. Let's just jump in the ship. I've got to go and see what's out over there. Of course, we don't have much left in the way of daylight at the moment, and I don't have lights on this ship anymore, which is a bit of a pain in the neck. So I'm just going to turn the thrusters on. Yeah, it looks like we've got the local options come in. You can see my guns have already got them in range. They've taken a very long time to get in, haven't they? That's the problem. I mean, I don't have to engage them. I can just wait. I suppose we could go swoop in and engage them. Got to get within 312. They're kind of hanging around extreme range, aren't they? So maybe we need to... See, they're not dying. See, they're still active, they can still fire at me, despite the fact that the game says they're dead. Which I think this is a bug. Since they've introduced this live thing, you can just seem to keep shooting the heck out of them, and they don't actually do anything. I mean, I could just do it here. I mean, we have to get into 339. I mean, I've got loads of ammunition, so I can afford to do this. I think there's definitely a little bit of a bug with the combat system. See, look, he's firing at me. Okay, let's pull back. See, they've now died, which is a little bit weird. And they're now hanging in space. So hopefully they're going to fix that eventually, because it just seems a bit odd to have a life bar that says you've now killed this drone or life form, and it still hangs there and can fire back at you. I mean, it's misleading. I'm just gonna grab this, and now Now these are in space, but you can guarantee the moment I get close to them, they're probably going to drop out of the sky. Oh no. Okay, let's just ease in a little bit. And I'm just going to... So it's almost like some of them crash and some of them don't. Where's your buddy? There you are. And just grab that from the fuel perspective. And we'll just let them hang out there. They're not doing any damage. In fact, it makes my life a little bit easier, so I don't have to collect them underwater. I think there is a bit of an issue going on here at the moment. I'm not sure what's actually causing it because the terrain still hasn't cleared. I'm getting interference on the steps leading up to the base, so maybe there is something a little bit going on. I mean, it could be me, it could be the game, I'm not sure. So I think maybe this is where I'm actually going to call it for the video. Sorry, this is a short, sharp video and it's all about the base, but I think it's important when you're playing these games, you do need to spend time working on your base, giving it a little bit of TLC. So I'm just going to turn the thrusters off. What I will do off camera is have a bit of think about where I want to build a construction platform. I'm not sure where I can build it because being in the side of the hill is probably not fantastic, but what I would like to do, wow, that temperature minus 46 degrees, so we're going to need to get underground actually because we're getting a little bit cold. Yeah, what I would like to do is create an area where I can actually start a proper CV build, because I would like to build a CV myself and just explore that concept in game time, so it would be like a long-term project. See the drones have finally dropped out of the sky. It took a long time to actually do it. I'm actually getting cold. I need to get in undercover, but I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed this very brief video, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.